Hi everybody, it's Elisa Murray here, living the sweet life. We're doing our Advent tree, and today we're working on our 11th ornament, following along with me each day for the 28 days of Advent. And today's ornament is the grain and Ruth. And so we're going to put that on our tree, and then I'm going to read the information, scriptures about that today. So this is the grain with Ruth. See if I can get that to turn for you to see. Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right, so the deal with Ruth. Ruth was not a Jew, but she was considered a Gentile, and she was part of the Moabite group of people. And whenever her husband died, she wanted to stay with her mother-in-law and her husband's family, and so they wanted her to stay as well. And she basically said to them, your people shall be my people and your God my God. And so she wanted to be with them and stay with them. And there was a lot of problems with eating and food and famine at the time. And so she went over to a field, and she saw this guy named Boaz. And what he did was he asked her and gave her permission rather, for her to gather the grains from his fields. And then he was able to, he fell in love with her, honestly. He fell in love with her, and they got married. And he wanted her to be a part of his family because he saw the virtue and how much she loved God, and he was also a godly man. And so Obed is their son, and he is the father of Jesse. And so the Jesse tree is actually from that particular descendancy. And Ruth and Boaz become the great grandparents to the King David. So that's where the Jesse tree actually starts in terms of the lineage of people that are in the Bible. Our readings today are going to obviously come from Ruth. There's Ruth 1:11 through 17, and also Ruth 2:11 through 22. I'm going to read that. There'll be information in the episode below for you to follow along in your Bibles, and so we'll get started. So Naomi said, Go back, my daughters. Why do you want to go with me? Do I still have sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Go back, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should even have a husband tonight, and should also bear sons, would you then wait until they were grown? Would you then refrain from having husbands? No, my daughters, for it grieves me seriously for your sakes, for Lord's hand has gone out against me. Ruth said, Don't urge me to leave you and to return from following you, for where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts you and me. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabite, her daughter-in-law, with her. She returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem in the middle of barley harvest. Naomi had a relative of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth of the family, Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, Let me now go to the field and glean among the ears of grain after him, in whose sight I find favor. She said to her, Go, my daughter. She went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers. And she happened to come to the portion of the field belonging to Boaz, who was the family of Elimelech. Sorry, guys. Again, Bible scholars, I am not, but I'm trying to do this for the children, so follow along and bear with me if things are mispronounced. Behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said to the reapers, May the Lord be with you. They answered, Bless you. Then Boaz said to his servant who was set over the reapers, Whose young lady is this? The servant who was set over the reapers answered, It is the Moabite lady who came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. She said, Please let me glean and gather after the reapers amongst the sheaves. So she came and has continued even from the morning until now, except that she rested a little in the house. Then Boaz said to Ruth, Listen, my daughter, don't go glean in another field, and don't go from here, but stay here close to my maidens. Let your eyes be on the field that they reap, and go after them. Haven't I commanded the young men not to touch you? When you are thirsty, go to the vessels, and drink from that which the young men have drawn. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said to him, Why have I found favor in your sight, that you should take knowledge of me, since I am a foreigner? Boaz answered her, I have been fully told about all that you have done in your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, and how you have left your father and your mother and the land of your birth, and have come to a people that you didn't know before. May the Lord repay your work, and a full reward be given to you from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. So Boaz loved Ruth, and she became his wife, and he went to her, and the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she bore a son. The women said to Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, who has not left you today without a near kinsman. Let his name be famous in Israel. He shall be to you a restorer of life, and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has given birth to him. Naomi took the child and laid him in her bosom, and began to nurse him. The women, her neighbors, gave him a name, saying, A son is born to Naomi. They named him Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Ruth 2:11 through 22. So guys, it's so neat to go through this Advent, because the children get to see all the different things, different places, different people, different points in history that lead up into the Nativity of Christ. And so Ruth is one of those people who really believed in God, and she had faith that the people that she wanted to be with were the chosen people, and she clung to that, and as a result was rewarded for that, and was able to actually have a baby that she never thought that she could have. And so the grain is today's ornament, and the little saying on the back of these lovely ornaments is, Ruth trusted in your plan and was faithful in all that she did. Help us to be faithful to you. And so that is our lesson today, for being faithful to God and trusting in him. So anyway, it's a beautiful lesson to have. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys are following along each day. I sure am enjoying helping you guys go through it together. The Jesse tree is just a really neat thing to do with your family. I tell you, I just love it. So anyway, if you found any value in it, please do me a favor and like and share. Don't forget to ring the bell. And tune in tomorrow when we keep going. 28 days of Advent. We'll see you soon. Take care.